Paul Ryan becoming Speaker of the House. And honestly, Paul Ryan, congratulations. You are now third in line to be President of the United States.
Yeah, that does actually give him a lot of political credentials and a lot of political leeway in the future. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to have to cash in some favors.
You're talking about that's a hell of a position to be in. Boehner never, I don't think, abused it per se as to the rules.
I've got more respect for Boehner now after hearing why he stepped down and kind of his reasoning.
He was absolutely chased out. He was absolutely chased out by the more.
I wouldn't even say that, because being chased out means you're losing. He wasn't chased out. He left. He could have won. He could have still been Speaker.
He was just tired of
how fucking crazy the party was.
Yeah, and the headaches. And I can understand that. Boehner is not a spring chicken anymore. And they literally found one. So, anyway, one of the things that he said in order for him to even allow himself to be nominated was he had to have time with his family. Absolutely, sir, I can appreciate that. As a father, I want time with my family. When Aaron has children, he would want time with his family.
I ain't even got children. I still want time with my family.
Absolutely. Even with, his
mother, brother, sister, friends.
Yeah. Anybody that needs to be taken care of. But Paul Ryan and other members of Congress said no to people like myself and Aaron and you to having time off for your family.
Paid vacation
leave. Your children.
Yep.
And that's something that we want to talk about because, Aaron and I were, before we started the recording, we looked up a couple of facts and they're fairly interesting. Now, this is from uspolitics.about.com. So it's not a .gov, but it's, this is typically factual stuff. Let's see here. Congress, this would be everybody, starts at a base salary of $174,000 a year.
Yep.
I make way less than 24 right now. But I have to work at least 40 hours a week, 5 days a week in order to do that. Let's see here. I actually have the figures here. In 2013, Congress worked 159 days of the year and made $174,000. And that's just the base salary. And I found that statement to be kind of funny. I was like, what do you mean base salary? What else are we talking about? Because it was very specific. And it turned out to be, it's $174,000 a year plus benefits. And if you think about it, Congress has the absolute
best
benefits imaginable when it comes to health, when it comes to retirement. I've not looked up the facts on this, but I believe they make almost, if not more than $100,000 a year if they retire. Really? That's the base salary. When it comes to congressional leaders, of course, they're going to make a little bit more. With the majority and minority party leaders in the Senate, they make both $193,400 a year. And again, they have the same amount of days off. And the same goes with House leadership, except for the Speaker, Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan now makes $223,000, I apologize, over $223,000 a year. And with that, I apologize, how many days was it that he got off, or that he worked? Was 859 in 2013. Would I like to make over $200,000 a year and work 159 days?
And these are the people, and the reason why this should be so baffling and so upsetting for everybody is because it's not like these people are doing menial labor or mediocre things or things that are such like that. Like, these are important tasks that these people are supposed to be doing. Like, these people are supposed to be crafting the laws, legislation, and the rules that govern our lives in this country. So for these guys to have this much time off, and this time they don't even have a second slot of time that's dedicated just to research and actual, like, making sure they're doing policy work and making new policies. No, this is just spare time, free time that they have off to do what they needed to. Yes, they do have various other groups and, caucuses that they meet up with that, may not go into that time that, is on random days of the week, but that does not add up to a 40-hour work week by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, no. In fact, it's absolutely not a 40-hour work week. Current analysis of 2013 by the New York Times found that the House was in session for 942 hours that year, or about 28 hours a week. 28 hours a week, and you get paid $233,000 a year. Hell yeah, that's the American dream. But only for a certain few.
And those people stay in those positions for 40 to 50 years now. There are people who literally retire in those positions at the age of 85, almost 90. They're wheeled in and wheeled out. Like, this is ridiculous. So it's like, okay, I'm not upset about the money. The reason I'm upset about the money is because they're not doing enough work for it. If you're going to get that much money, then you should do enough work for that money.
You should do a 40-hour work week.
At a minimum. For that much work, for what your job is supposed to be curtailed for.
Seriously, I swear to God, I was a manager at Domino's. In 2004, I made $550 a week for over 55 hours a week.
And this is why people are calling our minimum wage a slave wage at this point, because one, the inflation in this country has risen. The cost of a gallon of milk has increased quite dramatically. So the amount of money that you're spending on necessities has increased, while the amount of money that you get from your work hasn't. So the amount of money that you can spend on non-necessity items that keep our economy flowing is less and less, which means if you buy less, people produce less, therefore there's less things being created, which means there's less job opportunities. So this just does nothing but hurt everyone in all ends and all aspects. So not only does increasing the minimum wage help to increase our economy and help to boost our economy, but it helps to allow people to live comfortably and buy foods that are healthy for you. Why are foods that are so healthy for you so expensive? Because not a lot of people can afford them or buy them. So the more you buy healthy food, the cheaper it'll become. This is something that we need. This is why wealthy people live so long. They have great health care and they're eating the best foods and the best things that are out there. So we are dying from the things that we put in our body to how much we're working for menial amounts of money and for things that aren't nutritious or healthy for you in the least. What is going on in this country? And these guys are working 28 hours a week and making 200 grand, 120 grand at the low mark. Like, seriously?
174 grand at the low mark.
Come on now.
I absolutely understand Paul Ryan wants to spend time with his family. He has a beautiful family. He has, I think it's 4 children. I mean, he's got his hands full, he and his wife. I completely understand why he needs time. But him needing the time is no different than me needing the time. Than you needing the time. And for him to come out and say, hey guys, in order for me to lead you, you got to make sure I have time with my family.
That was one of his premier things. He was like, the only way I'm even going to consider this is if I'm guaranteed this much time with my family. I'm not going to sacrifice that time with my family.
Right.
Who else can make a demand like that for a job that's going to pay you $233,000?
No,
right?
Work at Cracker Barrel and say, hey, I need to help my kid with her homework tonight. And they're going to be like, if you're not here, you don't have a job.
Plain and simple.
That's it. It's not, my kid's struggling in math. Please let me take the night off to help them. No, you're not here.
And that actually used to be a legitimate threat in the workplace. When we had a bustling economy, when you have plenty of job flow, you can demand more for your work because they can't just fire you and go hire somebody else that's going to have the type of institutional knowledge that you have from that company and the experience that you have at that actual job and location. That is valuable experience. That is more valuable than what you're being paid right now. They knew this back in the day. So they treated you with respect and they gave you the proper time that you would ask for off of work. It's not wrong to ask for time off. Right. But now there's so few jobs, they can be like, oh, we'll just fire you and there's 50 other people to take your place. You're not important.
And that's the difference. When, oh my God, hell, it was less than 10 years ago, you're talking, people could switch jobs to jobs because there were always jobs. Now it's people and people, but no jobs. So, if somebody walks up to you and says, man, I'm going to quit if you don't do this, go ahead and quit. I've got 30 other guys behind you wanting the job. No. Whereas it was like, man, I'm going to quit. No, you know what you're doing. You've been here. It would take me forever to find somebody. Yeah. Because,
let's work together. Let's figure this out.
Other places offer this. Other places offer that. And right now I can't afford it. So it's harder for me to get people. But that's not the case anymore. 2008 hurt us. It hurt us bad.